In this question, we have to design a podcast page. This is the home page, and we see there's one image here, and there's podcast written on this. So this is a home page. So I have given an ID section home for this home page, and we can use HTML image or CSS background. But since this has writing on top of this, we're using CSS background image. So I've given div class is equal to background. So I've given in this container class, and there is one heading podcast. So I have given h1 and the styling. See, for background, the image has to be full. So I've given first the background image URL, and what is the URL? Then we want the full image to be shown. So background size cover. And see, the height is not the entire page. It is only some part of the page. So I have using trial and error, like how much will be good. I have taken height as 30 VH. Okay. And then I want this podcast, this heading to be white in color, and also they have given the font family to be Roboto. So for heading, I have taken class head, and the CSS properties here, you can see for head, the color is white, and font size I have given 30 pixels. Padding, because there is some gap right here, it's not sticking to the end, and it's not bold, so I've given font weight as normal, and the font family is Roboto for the head. Okay, so we have completed till here. Now the next part, we want 2 images in a row, and this should have their Puri Jagannath and the number of episodes. So here I created a containers bottom section, having class bottom section, and see, this image and the heading and the number of episodes, they are in a column. So this should come in a column, and these two should come in a row, that is Puri Jagannath and TEDx. So what I have done first, and if you see, this and this should come again in a column, that is Sadhguru's and Jay's along with Puri Jagannath and TEDx. So these should come in column. So first column for the entire page, because there are columns. This is one column. Okay. This is one row, this is one row. So we have, if we want to arrange it vertically, we're using flex column, right? So this Puri Jagannath and Sadhguru's, these 2 rows should be vertical. So we're using flex column. Then for this Puri Jagannath and TEDx, it is flex row because they have to come horizontally. So I've given deflex flex row, and they have to be aligned in the center. So I've given justify content center. And now coming to this one card, Puri Jagannath image, the heading and number of episodes should be in a column. So again we have deflex flex column, justify content start. And if you press on Puri Jagannath card, it should display Puri Jagannath detail page. So for that I have given on click display section Puri Jagannath. And then we have to give the image, the heading and number of episodes. So I have given image, SRC is the attribute, and the attribute value is the URL. And I want to specify the size of the image. I don't want it to be huge. So for that I have given class equal to image1, and if you see here, I've given height as 100 pixels, width as 130 pixels, and it is curved at the edges. So I've given border radius 5 pixels because it's not too curved also. And we want gap between these two cards. So I've given margin 10 pixels. Okay. Then the heading. H1 class equal to pickhead. Pickhead I'm using it for giving the CSS properties. Puri Jagannath and H1. So for pickhead what I want this color to be blue, and I want I'll just show the CSS property rule set. So here the color, I've taken this code from the reference that is given here. So text color, this is the text color, right? And font size, it's not too big also. So if you just give H1, it's going to be huge. So I've given font size 15 pixels and the font family for all, it's Roboto. And this Puri Jagannath and the number of episodes, it is not starting here, it is in the center. So I've given text align center, and this is bold, Puri Jagannath. So the heading is bold, font weight is bold. So what I do, now this is created, so I'll just copy this entire div and do it for TEDx also. Then copy both Puri Jagannath and TEDx and do it for Sadhguru and On Purpose. So I'll go down. So now it is for TEDx. This entire thing will come in flex row. Then again this whole part will repeat in the next part. So I'll just show you. So we have closed this. Again it is repeating, right? Because I want Sadhguru and On Purpose with Jay also. So again the same thing will repeat. So we'll close this also. So now we have to come to the detail page. So if we design for one page, we can use the same CSS rule sets for all the pages, and we can just copy paste the code and then do the editing. So we'll do it for Puri Jagannath podcast. So the top, we have some background color. So I've given ID section Puri Jagannath because if you do on click, then it should come to this section, that is Puri Jagannath. And now the image and this text card, they are aligned horizontally. So I'm doing flex row, and we have image. I've given the URL of the image. Again, the size here, it is not the same size that we used here, right? Yeah, it is the same. So you can use the same rule set. I've used the same rule set, image 1, which I showed you, 100 pixels, 130 pixels for height and weight, height and width. Then we are having in the text card, they are all aligned vertically. So we'll have flex column, deflex, flex column, justify content, start. Then we are having, this is not seeming like a heading, right? It's smaller. So I'm using paragraph, that is paragraph element. So P class equal to detail para. So I've given some CSS rule set for this because it is small. The size has to, font size has to be like around 10 pixels. The color has to be white, and there should be some padding. Yeah. Then we are having H1 as Puri Jagannath podcast, and again P detail para the Puri Jagannath podcast. So this and this they both have the same rule set. So that is done. And the rule set, I'll show you the rule set now. For detail para, here. So it is 13 pixels and the font family is Roboto. For the bottom section, I have given a padding of 20 pixels, like for this, okay? Because it's not touching to the end, so I've given padding of 20 pixels. And here for the bottom section, the background color is white. So I've specified that background color. And the color, this is for detail background, that is for this part. The background color is blue and the text color is white, that is #FFFF. This is white and the padding is 10 pixels, that is this gap around this. You can see there's gap between image and text, so we're giving padding. Yeah, here itself I have given detail background. So that tool set is applying. That is, the background color is blue and the text color is white. And font family is Robot. Now we're coming to the bottom section. For this, again we're having image, we're having heading and paragraph. Okay. So So first, this text card is column wise, that is flex column. So for that we're having one div. Then for the image and that is for this image and for this text card, it is flex row. So for that again we're having div. And for the entire this card, that is, it's having a blue background, it has a text and it has an image. So for that we have one container div. Okay. Now we'll come to the bottom section. Here so we're having image and again we're having next to it some text. So that has to be flex row. Okay. So here we're using, that is, I've given detail bottom section. For this, I'm giving some rule sets for the bottom section. I'll go and see this. Detail bottom section, margin 5 pixels. So for this, for each element also, we want space. Now we are having an image. So I've given the source and the class, because I want it to be of some particular height and width. So I've used the same class image1 to give the properties of the image. Then to style the image. Now we are having one container class for the text card. We have one total container class to align the image and the text card horizontally, that is flex row. And now we are having inside that a text card, and in those the elements have to be aligned vertically. So I'm having flex column. If you see here, this is flex column, this is for the text card. So I'm having H1, that is the heading. So here molecular gastronomy. And for that I've given some rule set. It has to be blue in color. So let's go check that out. I've given text card head. Yeah, here the font size I've given 15 pixels. So it's just like you can try out different values and see what is like looking good and what is matching to the image that they have given. And font family for all, it's Roboto. Font weight, it's bold here, so I've given bold. And the color, the blue colors. So the hex code is given here. Now we'll also look for the entire text card should have some padding. So I've given 8 pixels. And the paragraph, here the color is different, right? And also it is not bold. So here font size I've given 14 pixels. And font family is again Roboto. And color, I've used the different color that they have mentioned here. This is the color, #5A7184. So that is the hex code. And this 15 minutes, if you see the duration, it is similar to the paragraph, the styling, but it is just a bit smaller. So for that I have given another rule set, text card time. Font size is 10 pixels. You see paragraph I have given 14 pixels. And for time I have given 10 pixels because it's smaller. The font family is again Roboto. Color is again the same thing as that of the paragraph. And if you see font weight, it is when you run the code, you see if you don't give bold, it's very light. You can't make out. And if you see the difference here, it will be bold. So I've given font weight bold for that. Now this is the closing of the container for the text card. That is aligning the text vertically. And the next div close is, this div is the closing of the image and the text card. That is, they have to be aligned horizontally. So for that I've given a container. I've added a container. So for that I'm closing this. Now you have to just copy paste the entire thing for the next set and again for the next one. So we need 4 copies. So just copy that and then edit. That is, you just go here, edit the text, and then you edit the image. Image is the same here. That is Puri Jagannath. Here the paragraph is different, so edit that. Then the timing. So we'll do this for all the 4 podcasts. And then we are having a back button. So if you press on this back, it should go back to home page. And what was the ID of the home page? It was section home. So here we are having div class. I want it at the end. It is not, the button is not here. It is to the end of the page and it is to the right side. So I've used dflex flex row. In the row, it should come to the right side. So flex row, justify content end. And I've given button class. I've styled the button, that is the background color should be this which I've given for heading, and the color has to be white and it should be bold. I'll show the CSS also. And on click, what should happen if you click on the button? It should go back to ID section home. So I've given the ID here, that is on click display section home. And the content is back. That is, the button should contain this text back. Now I've closed the div that is for button, and I've closed the entire container, that is, which is containing the entire thing. Then for the ID I have closed here, that is div Puri Jagannath. I have given a container, right? So I've closed that. And the CSS for button, I'll look into that now. Yeah, background color should be blue, right? So what was the hex code for blue? It is #151765. So I've given that here. And if you don't specify the width of the button, it's going to be huge. So I've given 80 pixels because it's a small button here. And the text color is white. So #FFF. And border width is 0 pixels. This is not necessary. Okay. Border radius, it is curved, right? And it's not like the normal buttons that we use till now, where it's slightly curved. Here there's a huge curve. So I've given radius as 15 pixels and the font size is 15 pixels. Again, font family is Robo 2. So this is for the button. So I've also given on-click display. Now what you do is go back to where you've started section ID Puri Jagannath. Yeah. So just minimize this. Take this and copy. So Control C, use Control C and then go to the next line and Control V. Control C is for copy, Control V is for paste. Okay. I'm just minimizing it so that there's no confusion, like you have missed out any line. So if you close this where section ID is starting, then the entire div, the container is closed. So all the elements inside, all the writing, the code is here. It's minimized. So you can just copy this one line, Control C, Control plus C, then go to the next line and do Control V. Okay. Now we'll run and see. Okay. So this is the section head and we are having 4 cards here. If I click on this Puri Jagannath, it should go to that detail page. Right. Now in this page, if you click on back, it should go back to home page. Now again TEDx, if you click on this, it should go to TEDx page. Again, if you click back, it should go back to home page. Same way for Sadhguru. Back. So it should come back to the home page. You just copy this, what you've done for Puri Jagannath and do it for all. Just edit for all. That's it.